Supercoach Legends, it's a quick turnaround here and a solid score for me, only losing a little bit of ranking. We were 6,000 and a bit, down to 8,125. I did make two mistakes this week. One cost me 15 points, one cost me about 50 to 60 points, and we'll show you that in a quick second. But team value is still in a good position, 14.2 million. That is 33 trades remaining, 3 boosts in the bank. I'm very excited about that, and it's probably going to be a boosting week for sure. I know a lot of us have plenty of Storm players, and you will definitely as well. Grant, obviously the big one. I did make that trade last week to get Jeremy Marshall-King into my squad, which is going to be very helpful for cover. But it could be a trade this week of going Grant to Smithy and really using that cash to upgrade in a few other spots, which I need some help in. So I'll go through my team now in this one. But yeah, overall, just in a solid position. Obviously, top 5% still. It's okay. Would have hoped for a better one. I would have got well over 1,100 this week if I made the correct decisions. So I look at my squad here, and I did captain, unfortunately, Tommy Trbojevic. So with that 37, I just was expecting a lot better. He looked good the week before. Unfortunately, it wasn't to be in this one, and I will not be captaining him again this week anyway. So yeah, potential that he misses the team. You know, he's got that groin strain. He could be out. So Trbojevic, not sure what we're going to do with him. I think the play, though, is going to be upgrading Khan Pereira this week, and using him while he did have that high break even. He did lose 40k. I just wasn't able to get rid of him last week. So Khan Pereira will be out, and I'm looking at potentially Alex Johnston. They have a pretty tough round this week, but I think from there all the way, he's not going to be playing Origin either, and they're playing round 13 and 14, which is going to be really nice. And he's lost a fair bit of cash, and I can see him scoring a bunch of tries over those weeks. Hopefully we can get out with a pretty decent score in this one with a try, and then from there I think he's going to dominate. So he could be an upgrade option who has lost a fair bit of cash there. I think Jack Bird's going to be another guy that I'll be looking at as well, whether he's in the edge position for Teague Wilton or Hammer, but Hammer could potentially be a hold as well, or we can upgrade somewhere else a little bit there, because obviously going from Harry to Smithy is going to leave me with a fair bit of cash in the bank, and I think it will be a boosting week for the squad. But brought Marshall-King in this week, and that worked out well with his 68, obviously having Grant there at 104. Played Gilbert and Welch, both in the 50s. Fafita the 84, I'm just waiting for his try. The other issue I made, I was going to play Warbrick, and instead I changed him to Khan Pereira, thinking it would be a high-scoring match. And that one there where Fafita had the offload to Khan Pereira, I played both of them, obviously. And, that try, they got disallowed. Unfortunately, Kelly just being a bit silly with his run there. Cost me a lot of points in that one, like 50-odd points. So there's that as well as the issue. But obviously, Warbrick 36 compared to Khan Pereira 21. It's not a big difference, but 15 there. And then, captaining Manu, which I was a high chance of doing. Obviously, Grant was the other option, and just captaining Nico Hines in that earlier game. Either one of those gets you 90, 97, or 104, and an extra 50 to 60 points. So, unfortunately, it wasn't to be in that one. As I said, team value is really high. So, the lowest guy we've got in our rankings here is 297 with David Mwale, and him, Couchman, and also Murdoch Wasilla are making cash. So, overall, the teams are looking bad in that stretch, but I definitely think pushing towards round 13 and 14 there, and getting that team in a good setup, along with getting good points. Like, Johnson's going to improve the center wing that I have. I've obviously got a few of these guys that are doing okay things on the edge, in the reserves there for my center wing. But yeah, this week will be interesting. I think a lot of players, a lot of coaches here will be playing guys like Murdoch Wasilla, playing David Wile, Isaiah Katoa, definitely Schuster's the like there, and potentially one of these centre wings, just to get a 17 on the park this week. And a couple of them probably won't be as great, but this week Manu was a great trade in, and we're just hoping for a good centre wing 4, really. We haven't had, last week was pretty poor. This week was a bit better, but still a 31 and 21 in there. We can definitely make that better, along with the terrible fullback position there. So overall, in the other positions, pretty decent, but still 40s in our 2RF. So nothing has come into fruition. Nothing's absolutely killed it over the last bunch of weeks, but eventually it is going to happen. Let's talk about some buys, some holds, and some sells. And in the Bunnies-Panthers game last week, there was some killer performances in Latrell, and he's going up and up and up in price. So he's very hard to get into your side if you have Trbojevic, if you're looking to sell him for sure. Johnson I've spoken about. Tass is going to be a solid one as well. I think Walker you can avoid now. He's made plenty of cash and doing a good job. Murray, a bit of a low one from him as well. But anyone else on his side, like Sele had a good one. I don't know if you can pick him up. I think the minutes will drop down a little bit. Tavita Totola comes back, and he's definitely going to be on a lot of people's radars going forward, I think. Panthers is going to be an interesting one. There's potentially a few guys being rested. Tungo is injured, unfortunately. It's pec, so I think you need to get him out of your side. Hosting, I still think is a hold. I think he'll go back to 80 minutes. But yeah, there could be a few restings in this game, which is just a weird one, especially with them playing at 7:30 on Saturday night. It makes it pretty tough given they're the middle portion of this round. So Cleary as a captaincy option is a little bit of a worry with the a couple of tweets we've been seeing around potential restings for the Panthers guys there. So that's that in that one. Eels and the Broncos. On the Eels side, Brown's doing okay. Got a couple of try assists in this one, which was good. 67. I still think he's a good option in that 5/8 position if you're needing someone there. Penasini, a low one this week, but you expect some better ones as they come up against some lesser sides now. The Broncos come out. They dusted them in a bit of a wet affair in this one. So that's that. I think he'll be fine going forward. Hopgood potentially comes back into our sides at some point. And Widowmill Greg is potentially a real cheap option in the front row forward, but it's such a hard position, isn't it, unfortunately? For the Broncos, there's not a lot of options. Haas is out this week. I think you probably hold him, guys. It's such a hard position, the front row forward. So I think Haas is a hold, and you have to play Davin Wale, or you have to play Stefano, or whatever you have to do in that one to get that job done. Walshy, I think he'll have better games than that. Obviously, he hasn't had a low one yet, and finally he does. So he'll be fine, guys. Don't stress too much with Walshy. But yeah, some tougher games means he will get some lower scores sometimes. But when you got Trbojevic as well, he's more of an issue than Walshy at this stage. Although you could straight swap Walshy because he's so expensive. For the Dogs there, Waddell had a big one. Burns, Perham, some weird scores from a few of those mid-range to low-range kind of guys. Perham, probably a hold, guys, if you got him in the centre wing, for sure. You can move him if you want into the fullback position for this week if you want to hold, if you want to trade Trbojevic. Burton, still a solid one in the 5/8 position, but he does not play in 13, potentially plays Origin as well. Preston's a clear hold, so is King, so is Pangai, don't worry about them. Marnie's an interesting one, but again, a tough hook position. Can you trade him straight to Smithy? Potentially. Could work for you. On the Shark side, Hines keeps doing his thing. And Nakora, such a good option in the 2RF. He's obviously one of those top guns you want to have on your side. And Malatalo should have got a 90 plus, but just that error absolutely killed him. I'm sorry if you own him. T. Gordon, I'm tempted to sell him this week. That was a pretty average game, but he's been around that 60 mark all year, so up to you what you want to do with him. Cowboys and the Knights in this one, yeah, not great overall. Robson got a 69 with a try. Wasn't very convincing though. Cotter was good for 76. He's definitely going to score well over the next bunch of weeks, guys. That base stats is great for him. No one really else of note. Obviously, Granville got 41. It was okay. He's made a little bit of cash. If you need to downgrade in your hook position, then he could be the play. Obviously, the Knights there, the Lockie Miller show was back with Gags, 84 and 81. Greg Marzu was 67. Fitzgibbon's been solid as well. So all those guys were decent. Ponga, someone to look at for sure, but him likely going to play Origin. Frizzell was a bit low. Yeah, not ideal across the board for all of those Knights guys, and a loss to my Cowboys doesn't help you at all either. Okay, let's go to Dolphins and some good scores up top. Obviously, Wallace. Aiken's been solid. Centre and the 2RF, he's been good the last bunch of weeks. He's going to be good for Origin cover as well. Marshall King, 68, I traded him in. Gilbert, 53. Both okay, guys. He had a lot of missed tackles, Gilbs, and wasn't his best game, so that's that. Lemuelu, 58 if you own him. Isaiah Katoa, the 47. Tabuai Fido, 31. Wasn't his best game. He needs to get his run meters up, and I think that will come again. Cam Pereira, I think, is a sell. Jaden Campbell is definitely a sell. And for Fafita, could be a captaincy option over the next few weeks for sure. Tanner Boyd, if you still own him, a 75 was good in that one if you're playing him. Tigers and Eagles, we spoke about Trbojevic enough. Olakuatu and DCE were the leaders in that world. Again, no real buys in the Eagles team. Garrick in centre, not ideal, I don't think. You probably want him at fullback if Tommy's out, but likely that Weeks would come into that if they've moved Garrick to centre now to move things around. I think that Weeks would come into the one position. And then the Tigers side, Coruscant still a solid option in that hooking position. Not amazing, but Origin should be on his plate for sure. And then you've got Isaiah Publi, a low one for him. So if you're looking at him, yeah, probably can wait a little bit. And then you've got Buller, who got 38, but you can wait one more week on him before he becomes a trade-in. If he scores a 40-odd again, then he's a clear trade-in at 200k. You can bank so much cash from these 400k centre wings and go from there. But unfortunately, he's in that fullback position, so hopefully you've got someone that's dual that can that can go into the centre wing position, or you just have to trade out one of your fullbacks. And I'm assuming people will do it this week, potentially with Trbojevic, straight to him for sure. And last two games of the round, so you had the two Anzac Day games, and some good scores across the board. Manu with the 90 was good. Teddy with 75 is back a little bit, but not to his best. Brandon Smith, as I said, a good option, guys, 65. Expect sort of a 50 average or so from him. He'll do a job. He'll make a bit of cash like we're hoping for at the beginning of the year. Crichton, we can wait on him, and Tupanoa, both going to lose a bit of cash as Nat Butcher returns. And then on the Dragon side, some good scores up top. Bird, I think, is a great option, guys. He was good last week as an option as well. He picked up an 80 in this one with just so many tackle breaks, and it's just good play overall. If you're looking at anyone else like Moga there, if he actually plays this week, he's going to be a bit of a cash grab, but I don't know if you decide to actually pick him. Could be a solid one for sure. I'll definitely look into him as well myself. And then DeBellin with 63. So expect him to score around that 55 to 60. And yeah, good work for Murdoch Pasil, the best cash cow in the land there, doing his thing. And then you've got the Storm guys. You've got Meany up top, 117 again. He's been good all season, guys. And if you've held on to him the entirety of the time, you've done great. Grant, Munster, both crackers. Up to you what you do with Munster. Grant obviously going to miss a lot over the origin period and including this week. Soffa Lamona, they have that buy as well, so you can decide what you want to do with him. He's potentially a purchase with how many good offloads he's getting, and line breaks, attacking stats have been great for him. Welshie, I think, is a hold. Warbrick could be a sell, or you just hold him because you've got other issues on the side. I think Eli Katoa is a sell. He's done a great job for you. He's ready to be moved on as well. Adam Fanua-Blake, he's a cheeky one. He's done really well the last 2 weeks with a try. Does that mean he makes too much cash over the last few weeks, or does he need to play big minutes now with Tohu out and also Tafanga potentially? Martinis Lesniak, his second game of the year now, so he will make some cash in this next one. So maybe he's a cash grab for you as well. Up to you. Looks like Chance will likely miss the next 2 games, so I think he's a sell, unfortunately, but a good 77 in this game. 40 a try as well, but he's just missing so many tackles, which is wild. But he was being decent as well. Johnson, I think it's you've bought him. He's done really well. Time to sell now, I think, in Supercoach. He could be a decent one to move on from. And Josh Curran becomes an option as well. So think about him if Tohu is out for a longer period of time, along with Tavanga in his position. So good luck with your trades this week, guys. I'm likely going to be boosting, and hopefully we can have a massive round 9 and 10 over these next few weeks. Good luck all.